blood sugar going like this. The insulin is going like this. The blood sugar line is way smoother.
I'm sorry, am I fucking beyond stupid? Why wouldn't normal insulin pumps already do this? Type 1 diabetics' insulin pumps don't automatically monitor blood sugar and adjust accordingly. You have to do it all manually? That seems really crazy.
It was so exciting for me to see.
Hey, why the fuck are you giving me a type 1 diabetic pizza? What the fuck? Everyone eats differently, so you have to adjust it manually? Well, you adjust your insulin. My understanding of it, okay, I could be totally wrong. My guess is you have a device that you plug in or you pinch yourself and you see, hey, my blood sugar is over this amount, so I need more insulin to reduce my blood sugar. That's all it is, right? I don't understand why you wouldn't be able to automate that. It doesn't matter what you eat. Yeah, maybe the liability is why people don't do it. People are making fun of Bluetooth. Isn't this literally the perfect application of Bluetooth? Isn't this what Bluetooth was designed to do? Short communications, very battery efficiently. Like, I don't understand. What would you suggest? Wi-Fi would be fucking stupid as fuck here. It's way more power hungry.
You're able to do.
Oh, somebody earlier was asking if you could get one of these yourself. For a healthy person, your blood sugar should more or less look like this all the time anyway, unless you're pre-diabetic and you're starting to develop insulin resistance, right? Like,
daughter Katie was diagnosed with type 1
the upkeep for a pump costs $100 a week? Really?
diabetes, and I just couldn't.
What would you prescribe to someone that is pre-diabetic? I don't understand why. I could be crazy, or maybe this happens and I just don't hear about it as much, but I have like a lot of diabetes in my family, type 2, for all of my older people that are dead now. I don't understand why the diet part isn't taken more seriously. Like, if I was pre-diabetic or I was diabetic, I feel like I would like go on keto like immediately. Wait, not correct. It shouldn't be a line for blood sugars just during the night. Wait, what? I thought the whole point of your pancreas was to monitor your blood sugar levels. Maybe it's just because I'm so obsessed with death at the moment, but like, so like, I don't know if people know this, but diabetes is worse for you than AIDS at this point. A 20-year-old with HIV who began antiretroviral treatment in 2008 or later and had a low viral load after a year of treatment has a life expectancy that's close to that of the general population. 78 years. Like, a 2010 report by Diabetes UK claims that type 2 diabetes reduces life expectancy by roughly 10 years. Like, type 2 diabetes is a big-ass meme. I don't understand. Our current, like, treatments for diabetes seems real dumb. Well, that was not true. Let me back up. It seems like the way that people treat themselves, like as a doctor, you have to prescribe insulin, right? Otherwise the person will fucking die. But I'm surprised that people with I see people who have type 2 diabetes who will like just keep eating like tons of carbs and sugars and shit. And it's like, okay. I mean, I don't understand why. Yeah, because doctors probably do tell the patient to change your diet, but the patient doesn't do fucking anything. So the doctor can't do anything. Isn't type 2 much worse than type 1? No, generally. So in type 1 diabetes, your pancreas, I think your immune system kills your pancreas alpha cells or beta cells, so you can't produce insulin. In type 2 diabetes, you've taken so much fucking sugar into your body over such a long time. Every time you eat a bunch of sugar, there's sugar floating around through your fucking blood. What your pancreas does is it produces insulin to push that sugar out of your blood and into cells. And you do it so much that eventually your cells are like, fuck off, insulin. Like, I see you around here so much. Like, I don't fucking want to see you anymore. So insulin has to get like 5 friends to come over and fucking beat the shit out of the cell. Like, dude, like, you're gonna take this fucking fat. You're gonna take it, boy. And eventually the cells get stronger and they're like, I'm not gonna take it anymore. we're not good. And then you have to get like a fuck ton of insulin. And basically, like, this is like pre-diabetes is developing insulin resistance pretty much. Is you need more and 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 more fucking insulin in order to get the blood sugar out of your in order to get the sugar out of your blood. So like what we do to treat diabetes is we basically provide you with artificial insulin, right? Insulin gets to the point where it doesn't have enough friends to make the cell take the fat anymore, so we just give you even more insulin, and it's like this never-ending race until eventually you fucking die because you're fucked, because insulin is a really shitty thing. But then in type 1 diabetes, you just don't have... Type 1 diabetes sucks because I think you're usually born with it, and it could have really bad impacts at an early age if you don't catch it. Or even if you do catch it, it can have really bad impacts. Like, people can lose their sight at a relatively early age, into their 20s, like... I thought type 2 diabetes didn't have to do with sugar, but with lack of exercise. No. Diabetes is a disease is generally considered to be like a disease of the pancreas or related to like insulin. Well, I mean, we could like read it, but. Metabolic disorder, maybe is a better way to say it. Characterized by high blood sugar, insulin resistance, and a relative lack of insulin. Lack of insulin because your resistance is so high. Intermittent fasting reduces insulin levels? Yeah, it's supposed to. That's one of the reasons why I started doing it. I feel like if I was super responsible, I would cut out most sugars from my diet, like go on some quasi-ketogenic diet. Not that extreme, but do I have diabetes? No, I don't think so. My cousin has type 1 diabetes. His life expectancy was 18, but he made it to 25. Damn. How do you feel about regulating fast food and unhealthy foods? I mean, it should probably happen. Insulin resistance is caused by fat? I've never heard that before. I thought insulin resistance was caused by having a fuck ton of insulin in your blood at all time. Well, I mean, we can read it. Insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is considered as a pathological condition in which cells fail to respond primarily to the hormone insulin. To prevent hyperglycemia and noticeable organ damage over time, the body produces insulin when glucose starts to be released into the bloodstream, primarily from the digestion of carbohydrates in the diet. Under normal conditions of insulin reactivity, it's the body causes. Lose sensitivity to insulin, a hormone secreted by the pancreas to promote glucose utilization. You mean usage, right? At the molecular level, a cell senses insulin through insulin receptors, with a signal propagating through a cascade of molecules collectively known as... Recent studies suggest that the pathway may operate as a bistable switch under physiologic conditions for certain types of cells in a diet. It is well known that insulin regulates the conversion of carbs into fats by promoting the absorption of, especially glucose, from the blood into fat cells. So your diet can impact it. Sedentary lifestyle increases the likelihood of development of insulin resistance. It's been estimated that each 500 kilocal a week increment in physical activity related energy expenditure reduces the lifetime risk of type 2 diabetes by 9%. So it looks like exercising will help you for diabetes. Protease inhibitors found in HIV drugs are linked to insulin resistance, cellular level, molecular level. A disease can cause... recent research and experimentation has uncovered a non-obesity related connection to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. HCV and insulin resistance. Hepatitis C also makes people 3 to 4 times more likely to develop it. Yeah, I've never heard... I don't think that just being fat can cause it. But I mean, usually you get fat by having a shitty diet that's like super high in sugars and whatnot, right? That was a thing propagated in the 90s about obese kids and diabetes. Oh, sure. I mean, if you got rid of all the fat... Well, I shouldn't say it like that. If you, if people had healthier diets, I imagine type 2 diabetes would reduce primarily. People can reverse type 2 diabetes, especially early on, but people are just too stubborn. Yeah, that's what I would imagine. Because I've... hold on. I want to source everything I say, because I don't want to just like say like random fucking medical shit. I feel like there was preliminary research that said like keto diets, type 2 diabetes, that like this is something that 49% of participants completed the study, or 58.3%. 49 participants completed the study. Both interventions led to improvements in hemoglobin A, fasting glucose, fasting insulin, and weight loss. The LCKD group had greater improvements in hemoglobin, body weight. Conclusion: dietary modifications led to improvements in glycemic control and medication reduction/elimination in motivated volunteers with type 2 diabetes. The diet lower in carbohydrate led to a greater improvement in glycemic control and more frequent medication reduction/elimination than the low glycemic index diet. Lifestyle modifications using low carbohydrate interventions is effective for improving and reversing type 2 diabetes. And I mean, like, we can read, there are more studies on this as well. So this is mind blowing to me that more than 100 million Americans have diabetes or pre-diabetes. And this is well, to be fair, we need to distinguish between type 1 and type 2. $84.1 million have prediabetes, a condition that if not treated, you don't get prediabetes if you're type 1. I think that I think prediabetes is the condition where you are beginning to build up a resistance to insulin, but you're not at the stage yet where your body is not able to create enough insulin yet to deal with your blood sugar. It's the precursory stage before diabetes mellitus, in which not all the symptoms required to diagnose diabetes are present, but blood sugar is abnormally high. Oh no, so your blood sugar is already abnormally high. This stage is often referred to as the gray area. It's not a disease. The American Diabetes Association says prediabetes should not be viewed as a clinical entity in its own right, but rather as an increased risk for diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Associated with obesity, dyslipidemia, with high triglycerides and or low HDL cholesterol and hypertension. It is thus a metabolic diathesis or syndrome, and it usually involves no symptoms and only high blood sugar as the sole sign. In medicine and allied fields, a diathesis, am I pronouncing it? Diathesis is a heredity or constitutional predisposition to a disease. Okay. Are you into the health at every size stuff, or do you think it's a bad meme? No, I've never been okay with health at every size. I don't think you should shame people for being fat, because I don't think shaming people is generally, not socially, not publicly like that, is generally a good way to get rid of behaviors. It doesn't seem to work. But how would one know if they have prediabetes? Workup at the hospital. You can get a blood workup or whatever. Do you think there will be a change in obesity rates in the first world? The last time I checked, no Western country has successfully reversed their obesity rates. I think Sweden, was able to stop the increase in children becoming obese, I think was something I saw. But no, obesity is a massive fucking problem in the Western world. Holy fucking shit. And nobody talks about it. Obesity and climate change feel like the two biggest things that are impacting us, but nobody really seems to want to do anything about it. There should probably be heavy restrictions on sugar or something in the US. We need to have a campaign for that shit like we did with cigarette smoking, because holy fuck. The UK might be able to reduce obesity rates if Brexit successfully causes food shortages. Yeah, I banned Nathan from drinking soda now. He hates me for it, but anytime we go out, we just get water now. Nathan's not anywhere near being obese. I'm so fucking paranoid though of him getting fat, because his whole mom's side of the family are all really big. And my side of the family is all fat too, actually. My mom and my dad are both huge, and all of my siblings are fat as well. So I'm super paranoid that because I think that if you get fat as a kid, you're fucked. Reducing that or reversing that is holy shit, is so fucking. Why am I not fat? I don't know. I was always really independent from my family. What is the meme with BMI? Is it actually accurate? Yeah, generally it is. That triggers the fuck out of a lot of people, but yeah, it generally is. Then high fructose corn syrup? Yeah, I don't know if that would do it, but.
round the empty swings.